timelines, Mr Mayor. It's on the timetable, it's in your hands. Mr Mayor, 96% of the people in Basingstoke, in the residents' survey in Basingstoke and Dean, said that providing homes for local people is a top priority. We recognise that there is a housing crisis in Basingstoke, and we know that the council can and should lead and make a huge difference using its resources to invest in building homes that will generate a return to the taxpayer, but also local homes for local people, in the sense that many older people want to downsize and many young families are desperate to start in a new home. We would use the £25 million working with partners who share our social agenda to deliver low-cost, affordable homes. We would invest in young people through backing apprenticeships. We know that the priority in Basingstoke for apprenticeships is incentives for employers to increase their recruitment of more apprentices, and working with partners to increase the minimum wage of apprentices. We want grants to support employers with over 19s for funding their fees for apprenticeships. We want to support higher apprenticeships, the funding of grants to support employers with HNC costs, something that is a priority of our LEP. We want funding to increase the IEG awareness of parents and schools and colleges, another LEP priority, to promote the benefits of higher education through vocational apprenticeship learning. We want funding to encourage employers to support apprenticeship delivery in the college, in our BCOT college, releasing industry experts to support the curriculum, and also employers' forums to share best practice and build a network of employers promoting apprenticeships. There is a huge untapped agenda around apprenticeships. We will support our small and medium-sized businesses. We want to because they're the lifeblood of our local economy. We want to help them grow and develop. We want businesses employing people on good wages with skills and innovation that drive our economy. But it's about the kind of jobs that we create, and it's in particular tackling 0 hours contracts. We also recognise the impact of welfare changes. It's been huge on so many people, often the most vulnerable in our community. And we see the human cost in the government's cuts to welfare reform, the human cost of the county's savage cuts to supporting people. Instead of saying we could, or we might, or we need to keep it flexible, we need to see action by addressing the impacts of supporting people and welfare changes. We want an identified budget that will support people who are directly affected by welfare changes, homelessness, and supporting people cuts. And it needs to be a start, because in future years we're going to need to see ongoing revenue support to meet the needs of the most vulnerable in our borough. Again, this is a huge agenda that we have to address. Buses and public transport. It's such a major issue. Getting around the town and our borough matters to our economy, and it matters to people's health and well-being. For example, young people cite that safe public transport is one of their most important issues. So we'd like to buy 5 electric hopper buses that would operate on routes connecting communities like Old Basing, Chinham and Beggarwood. Again, this council can take the lead for these communities, showing that we can do something. Those green hopper buses would support the school runs, people getting to their GPs in the hospital, that help local businesses connect to our local out-of-business parks and the town centre. And we could do a lot more to support the nighttime economy and evening public transport. We want to see a real drive to bring our partners on board on this. The hospital, the schools, the colleges, the businesses, because we want to pool their transport budgets with us to deliver something that is quite needed in our town on public transport. We also want access to primary health care, because it's such a problem for so many people. Time and again, we hear people talk about the cost and the tortuous journeys they take, getting from one side of the town to the other to see their GP when they are feeling unwell. And we know that the Southam surgery was a success, and it generates a return in income to this council. So communities like Buckskin and Winkleberry and Hatch Warren, who are not served directly by GP services, we need to invest in their local healthcare, and we have a model that works. So positively, why aren't we doing more to deliver on it? And we're serious about investing directly in solar power and other renewable energy, because it makes a return on the investment this year, but importantly contributes to reducing our carbon footprint. And we also want to indulge home insulation grants to those households that can't afford to heat their home, by helping those people reduce their bills, but also their carbon footprint. And with an ageing housing stock in Basingstoke, this is an issue we will need to address, and the council can and should take a lead. And we should look at our investment portfolio in the future to make far more green investment, far more opportunities, not just for solar power, but other renewable energies as well. Our amendment, Mr Mayor, is just the beginning of trying to focus this council on the issues that we know matter to people in Basingstoke and Dean.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Wonderful timing yet again.